Hi, Auriane. How are you? I'm Katherine.
Hello, I'm Ben.
We want you to know we've so enjoyed your work throughout the past 5 weeks. We apologize it's taken us this long to be on video. It's just been a crazy month for us.
As it has been for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, you've been busy also. But we want you to know we've really enjoyed watching your creations. So thank you for everything you've made, and we hope you've enjoyed the process. I'm going to talk a little bit about this last week, and then Ben's going to do a recap just so you can hear us talk a little bit more about our experience watching your work. This week we absolutely loved. Congratulations, you certainly gave us a great experience, and I think I can say this, we're awarding you 15 stars for what you created. Couple things, yeah,
Make them rain.
a couple things that, so many things that we loved. Number one, the way you directed not only the choreography, but in relation to the camera. So there were many choices where the camera panned to a specific skater, specifically your first soloist, that then bumped to the next, that then bumped to the next. That was really interesting camera choice or quote unquote staging or composition. So we loved that. Another thing we loved that is just so memorable is the end when you put all of your performers in one line and had them turn their head one after another after you had used other choreographic choices to, mention of the face given the poem. So that was very memorable, and again, a great use of staging in relation to your camera. So, in our work, we've spent time in television and film and stage, and it's such a blessing and also sometimes an extra challenge to work with directors, work with camera angles. It's an added element. We certainly love it, but it just adds another element to the choreography, and we're so happy to see that you're already working that skill. And then we loved the performance. It was a cohesive thought. You had motif movement throughout. You were very skilled in bringing your performers into nice shapes where we could see everyone. It was very clean and orderly so that we could enjoy, when the one performer is doing this crazy movement, we could enjoy that because we trusted that the rest of the piece was organized and well thought out. So kudos, congratulations, we loved it.
Yeah, the shapes were really beautiful, and that's something that we appreciated throughout your whole journey in this competition. I just want to say a little bit about each week because we didn't have this video time with you, but from the first week with Ashley, you gave her some really interesting movement. You have a real knack for the way that you move yours or your performer's arms, and kind of a real fluid, but then also musical staccato when necessary, but really nicely connected arm movement. And I thought Ashley performed it beautifully, of course, and it was strong, it was powerful, it was emotional, it kind of had a lot of ups and downs. That was fun to watch. And then your second week, it started off really strong for us. This was the friends, and then you had to try to awkwardly leave the room. That was a funny story that you brought to us, and everybody's been, I think, in that situation. But the first part, I really loved the way that you used the performers in the shapes that you made, and the way you had them circle around and kind of ending up in that triangle into the next step. It was very effective. And then I think, once you tried to get into the awkward leaving part, it started to feel a little bit awkward, which maybe that's exactly what you were going for, but it was a little harder.
May I interject quickly?
Sure.
I'll just add to this. We wanted you to understand, and we're not sure if this came through in our feedback, that if you pose a problem for your audience, you've created stakes for your audience, and then therefore you want your audience to care about those stakes. So for us, we didn't understand the stakes in the sense of we just thought, leave. It didn't feel like the stakes were intense enough to then feel the problem that you were portraying, if that makes sense. And that might not be fair. Of course, we weren't there with your friends. But that was our dissonance with understanding that.
Yeah. That being said, there was a memorable moment in that part where you were down and the feet were fighting and you were behind the feet. That was a really cool, and again, like Katherine said before, your cinematic choices, that was a great, it was effective. Then on week 3, we loved your surfboard. It was kind of just you used that board perfectly. It felt, we could tell it was like that was the safe place. It gave you comfort. It was like home, right? And so every time it was removed, then chaos ensued, and then you came back to this comfortable place. And we really loved the part where you're being pulled and your knees were sliding and you were switching knees. That was really different. I haven't seen anybody slide like that before, so that was effective, and you were almost going backwards while you were going forward. So very cool moments in that piece, and beautiful connection. The power too of unison skating, but one has the board and the other doesn't, and then how that just has that contrast. So really enjoyable and fun to watch. And then in week 4, you had your feeling of new love, and that had it was such a lightness to it, and obviously we felt like you captured that feeling so well, and there was this joy that kept bubbling out, and we could tell there was kind of a ravenous quality, right? When you finally feel what that is, and you don't want to let up on it, you want to have more and more and more, and that really came across. So you've been able to show us a wide range of emotion and portraying different stories, and it's all been fun to watch. So bravo on a great competition.
Congratulations.